pissed off by your real estate agent. It happens all around Australia every day. We're going to talk about it right now.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
I was going to use the word annoying. Annoying real estate agents is what I was going to use, but okay, paid off. So we're going to talk this morning. Sorry, we're a little bit late, guys. We had a bit of a glitch with some sound. But we're going to talk this morning about the annoying things that agents do. I have to say, Mark, I started writing a list, and I just kept going and going.
The list
I don't think we can do
the
this in
list just
15 minutes.
it just free flowed, and anyone who's got anything to add, it's a live show. Write it in the comments. We're talking about annoying things that real estate agents do, and we're not pointing the finger here. We're all to blame. It happens even with
Yeah.
us sometimes.
We're real estate agents. We're real estate agents. Let's hope we don't do the vast majority of these annoying things. The first thing I put, Mark, on my list is real estate agents when they write contact agent on a listing.
Uh,
What do you? And it. Can I tell you? It goes right through the industry. If you go onto realestate.com and Domain, guys, you'll see. I reckon 50% of those listings at the moment actually say contact agent. That to me says don't contact me. That's what it says to me.
But isn't that obvious? Like, talk about stupid, I've got nothing to do, or they do a photo of a beach, and the property's like 2 kilometers away, and it doesn't even say on the photo 2 kilometers away. They just put a photo of a beach, and then they put a second photo of a different angle of the beach, and then they put a third angle, and you're like, man.
And then it says location shot. They just forget to tell you that location's 45 minutes away.
But contact agents,
so
that's annoying. Obvious.
It's really annoying. So why do agents put contact agent? I think it's a default field actually, but it's also a changeable field. So in the event you don't want to put a price guide on there, you can actually change the field. So you might say something like DY's best penthouse, whatever it is, but you can change the field because to me, contact agent means don't contact me. That's pretty
There's
much.
no value. There's no value. It's obvious and it's dumb. Hey, Luke's going to have heaps of good ones today. He's dealing with buyers every day. I'm not annoyed by a price guide when you know they want 50K more.
There you go.
Most people are annoyed, no price, but I love it.
Oh,
Rosie. Rosie's going to have good ones. Rosie's going to have good ones.
Actually, Mark, Rosie invited me along to the Northern Beaches Women's Shelter charity lunch yesterday down at Manly Pavilion. What a phenomenal charity. They are the angels of our society, these people. That they care for women of domestic violence and all sorts of things to provide them with safe housing, which there is just not enough of. Northern Beaches Women's Shelter, massive call out to these men and women because honestly they're incredible human beings. They really are. Thank you for having me yesterday, Rosie. Love you.
And
okay.
also with that women's shelter, this is probably a really topic that you're scared about me talking about because what's Mark going to say next? Did anyone watch Sally the Murderer on Netflix?
No.
So there's these 2 bodybuilders, and this lady kills her husband due to domestic violence. And I'll tell you where the women's shelter is really powerful. Sometimes it's just such a hard decision for these ladies to get out of the house, and sometimes they just need a easy, free, frictionless option just to step sideways into a women's shelter.
Yeah.
It's really, really powerful, and it is it may sound obvious to a lot of people, but it's this is a great cause
But
to
Mark,
support, and it's
I
funny
learned
because I just watched something on that. You
I
know,
learned a lot. I learned a lot yesterday because ordinarily, and don't quote me on this, guys, but ordinarily, I think the government will provide, maybe a hotel room, they put them into their own room, isolated from society, without their children, for a week. For a week, I don't know how that helps the situation, but I can only imagine that putting a very scared, vulnerable person on their own, in isolation, just is not the solution. These women do more than just provide, and men do more than just provide housing.
yeah,
They
yeah,
provide a massive network to get these women
huge.
back on their feet. It's honestly phenomenal. It's something that I feel very, very passionately about, and I would love to get more involved in it. I really would.
Let's
All
get
right,
Rosie
guys.
on, but we strayed back to annoying real estate agents.
Annoying real estate agents. So contact agents number one. We'll have to fly through these because I've got a list from here to tomorrow. No sold price. No sold price. It drives people
Seriously.
nuts.
Seriously, and you have to train your vendor and you have to train your purchaser, because sometimes they just go, oh look, I don't want to put a price, and you're like, guys, it's going to be out there anyway when it's settled, don't worry about it. And then they always go, okay.
Yeah, and look, it's hard to control it getting into the hands of companies like RP Data. Eventually, it does come out. Eventually, it does come out. But no sold price. Like, it's annoying for the people most of all. Mark, I put sold prices on my signboards when I've sold. I wrap
It
the boards and put
really,
sold prices
it helps people. It helps people. If you can help people, help people. If you can help people for free, even better. So put a price on your friggin' properties.
I think if you ask the people, if you ask the community what they want, there lies the
They want
answer.
it.
And again, you've got to juggle around with
Helps
vendors and
people.
purchases. But Mark, can I tell you, 99% of the time, I don't even think I could count on one hand vendors and purchasers that have told me that I can't disclose the sold price. Because when you've built that trust and that relationship, they're like, we don't care what you do. Lack of communication.
Yep.
I actually want to do a whole segment on this. How often a real estate agent should communicate with a vendor. So lack of
What is that?
communication.
What's lack?
Lack of communication, in my opinion, would be once a week in this market. I think that's horrendous to only hear from your agent once a week.
What's awesome?
Daily.
What's too much?
No vendor ever said, I don't think there is when you're selling someone's property. No vendor ever said, Lisa, you're telling me too much, you're communicating too. No vendor ever said that.
Yep.
I set up WhatsApp groups, and so usually there's a phone call once a day, and there's a lot of vendors, but certainly updates in that WhatsApp group every single day. And if there's nothing to report, I'll just say, nothing to report today, guys. Looking forward to the open home tomorrow.
Boom.
Okay, next one.
Boom. Annoying things.
Okay, so I don't just want to talk about the vendor. I want to talk about the buyers. Not letting buyers know that a property is about to be sold, and then it gets sold, and all of a sudden they see on realestate.com or Domain that a property that they were interested in or even put an offer on was sold without them knowing.
Agents don't do it. Final call. They do it at an auction. They don't do it prior to auction, and they don't do it for sale properties. Final call. Why not? It's SMS everyone. Guys, just want to let you know, just about to do a deal.
Mark.
Final call. Oh, I'm not interested. Oh, I'm interested.
Every single deal that we do, at the very, very least, a buyer will get we call it a rattle SMS, and it goes out to every person that not only inspected, but inquired on the property. And I cannot tell you how many times a buyer has contacted us just as we were about to exchange and said, oh, actually, I've got interest in that property, and has thrown in an offer right at the 11th hour. How many times has that happened?
Makes sellers money. It's just about communicating with your market, and you don't have to pick up the phone and make 100 calls. You can flick them an SMS saying, we're just about to do a deal. Just want to let you know.
But again, what do the people want? The buyers love it because they were then kept up to date with exactly what was going on with that property, and it was
Yep.
fair for everybody. It was fair for everyone. So please don't forget
Yep.
the buyers, guys. Being negative about the market. Okay, this is honestly one of my pet hates. Agents
Okay,
that are
now
just absolute Debbie Downers. I can't stand it.
okay, negative and honest are very, very hard to delineate when you've got different personalities of different agents.
Yeah.
Very hard. So this agent is thinking, I'm just giving you the accurate feedback. I'm just telling you how it is, and it's not good news out there. As a result, you can't sleep at night because you're the vendor and because the agent's so goddamn negative. Where's the fine line here?
Solutions. Just solutions. That's what they want. You know, there's been many a property that's been sitting on the market. Let me give you an example. 3 at 48 Pacific Parade in Dee Why. Lovely little 2-bedroom apartment with a lock-up garage and an additional storage room. Really good property. Those vendors, they needed to sell. You will have seen it. It was all over our social media. Urgent sale had to be sold within 7 days. I think we ended up getting it sold within 4 days. So I spoke to those vendors and I said, what are the parameters, guys? They said, Lisa, we really want it sold within the next week. I said, great, close your eyes and ears. I've got the perfect solution for you. What we're going to do is we're going to amend the price guide. We're going to meet the market with the guide, and we're going to make it really appealing to the market so that we're very competitive. We're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to change your photos, and we're going to mix things up so that we get you sold within the next 7 days. I reckon we'll get you sold sooner than that. And that's exactly what happened. We brought them 4 offers over the weekend, and we had those guys sold.
If you can't trust your real estate agent, fire your real estate agent.
I
Seriously,
agree.
whether it's rentals or sales, it's just not going to come good. So move
But being
on.
negative about the market, it's never bad. The moment that the day that we go onto the sold section of realestate.com and Domain and see 0 properties sold over 12 months
They're
is
selling.
that's
They
what we
are
call
selling.
Armageddon. You know what I mean? Like, properties are selling.
They are selling.
There's
They are
always
selling.
things to be said about the market.
Another annoying thing is real estate agents that don't wear socks.
I wonder, ask the people what they like. Rosie, if you're still on here, can you comment on that, please?
Those things. So what they do is they remove sweat from between your toes and the bottom of your foot. If you don't have them on, you're going to ruin your shoes and your feet will stink. Bad agent.
So funny.
Maybe if you're stepping onto a boat and you're slipping off your shoes, that's fine. But you guys aren't stepping onto a boat and slipping off your shoes. Put your socks on, boys.
Okay, can we talk about while we're talking about clothes, Mark? Can we talk about tie or no tie? And it's quite ironic you don't have your tie on yet, but every day Mark goes to work with a tie on. Every day. So tie or no tie? If that agent is selling your property, do you even care if they're wearing a tie or if they're wearing no socks? And I think it's area centric. I really do, because I think if you're, a regional agent, maybe it's okay to, not suit up or not wear a tie. There you go, no socks, no listing. But I think, look, we go to work dressed very corporate. Always in suits, it's just not negotiable. It's the way we've always run our business. They wear little ballet slippers underneath. Oh my God, this is hysterical. But yeah, it's an interesting one, the way an agent dresses. And again, I think it's very area-centric.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what, I know we're talking about annoying things that agents do, but I think you do you. Right, you do you, right? And I don't profess to say you got to be in a suit or you got to wear a tie in there. You do, well, whatever you want to project out there. That's how you should be dressing. You do you the best you do you. But if you doing you is winning you business, you're on a good thing. if you doing you is
Yeah.
losing your business, you're on a bad thing. And I know people say, well, that's not you doing you, but you've got to realize that if you choose the act of being a ballerina, or if you choose the act of being a real estate agent, if you choose the act of being a lawyer, you've then got to take that form. Do you know what I mean? So when people, and then when you put on that act, people go, yep, great job. I want, do it again. Do you know what I mean? So when we choose our careers, we choose our acts of what we want to do. And that's why I think clothing is important. And so are socks.
So funny. Okay, parking in visitor spots. Agents that take up all the visitor spots, and when the buyers come, there's nowhere to park, or they park their car right out the front of the property, and then, as I said, there's nowhere for the buyers to park. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Annoying or not?
Well, it's visitors. You're a visitor.
So as an agent, you should be allowed to park there or not?
Well, I think it gets worse. I think they don't even park in the visitors. They just whack it somewhere in the building and think it's okay.
Yeah.
So
because they've got to conduct an open home. Okay, inspection by appointment with no open times.
Annoying.
Annoying?
Very, very annoying.
Okay.
Very, very
And so can I just define this actually, Mark? Because sometimes we just cannot get access to a property. Sometimes it's difficult. So you have to do the inspection by appointment. However, sometimes a campaign has just run too long and an agent can't be bothered turning up to do open homes anymore. You know, you're 6-7 weeks into a campaign, they're like, someone wants to see it. They'll call me. It says contact agent and by appointment, and then they're wondering why a property can't get sold by appointment. Annoying or not, guys? I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on that. By appointment depends on the property. Yes, I agree with that. I've got a couple at the moment. It's just a little bit of a delicate situation. But just off the back of that, if you're going to do inspection by appointment and the agent's email address and mobile phone number is there, and you call them and email them and they don't respond for 2 or 3 days, annoying or not annoying?
What's an annoying time frame of lack of response?
Okay.
So you've sent an email through. It's okay. You've deposited a voicemail on their phone. What's a guaranteed expected callback time?
Okay, so I call back within the hour. My voicemail says, sorry, I've missed your call. I will endeavour to get back to you within the hour, and usually like 99% of the time I will. Annoying turnaround time would be outside of, I reckon, 2 or 3 hours these days.
Okay, that's me.
Our expectations have changed. Mark, think about...
I'm same day. Next day, annoying.
Yeah. Okay, but I'll tell you why. No, but hang on. Speed is a really, really important thing these days. Think about, and I'm always Uber, right, as opposed to taxis. We're sport brats. We'll pay more to have an Uber at our door in 3 minutes. If we've got to wait for 10, we're like, oh my God. If you remember calling taxis combined back in the day, it was normal to wait 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. I got another one. Agents' cars are annoying.
In what way?
Agents drive. They're all German, and the agents that drive the sports cars are even more annoying.
So that's me. I fit into that category.
You've gone red.
I'm not red.
You've gone red.
No, hang on. No, I want to clear that up. I am extremely proud of the car that I drive. I drive a beautiful car, and I'm very proud of it because I work my ass off for it. And so that's my reward. And I'm not embarrassed, and I would never make excuses about that because I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I earned it.
But it's bloody annoying. It's bloody annoying. It must be bloody. I know it's annoying for buyers to rock around to open houses and see all these like whippersnapper agents, young and old, and seeing them all in like black Mercedes and black BMWs. It's like, can't you think of another car?
Okay, but so the flip side is I'm pulling up to list your property, and I've put, not that there's anything wrong with a Toyota Corolla, our daughter drives one, I think it's the best car ever, but I, as your listing agent, have pulled up in a Toyota Corolla. Is that annoying?
Little
That's the
bit.
flip side. That's the flip side, I guess. I mean, look, and anyway,
Well, I
who
do.
cares?
You know, I want my agent to emulate success, and if that's like selling a shitload of properties in the area, if that's dressing up instead of dressing down, if that's yeah, I get it. I think you're right. You know, like I think you want them
I
to
think it's
emulate
kind
that.
of
You
a
know,
yeah. It's a little
delicate.
it is a little bit of a delicate situation, yeah.
Yeah, but if
But
they like turned up in a Porsche and went over the top, for example, that'd be a tosser.
Mark, that's so rude. Rosie, help me out here. I think he just called me a tosser. I'm pretty sure he did. He's gonna, you're gonna cop it tonight. There's definitely no dinner tonight. Definitely no dinner.
But
Okay. So not answering basic questions. That's another one. You walk into an open home and a buyer goes, "So, how much is strata?" And the agent goes, "Oh, I'll get back to you on that." And they go, "And square meters? How many square meters? And which way does it face the property? And is there any storage?" And the agent's going, "Oh, and they don't know the answers to these questions. So know your stuff as an agent. At least know the basics,
and short and concise, So basically,
Luke, you're cracking me up today.
what's Luke
Luke,
saying?
agent number plates. It's the best. There's oh my God, there's an Instagram site and it's completely slipped my mind at the moment, but this guy
Lords
absolutely
of Property.
I just lost my life.
Lords of Property.
Yeah, Lords of Property, that's it. Lords of Property. Oh my
I
God.
think your light's saying that you've spoken too much. We've got to go now.
Can I tell you, we could go for 21 days on this. Honestly, it's hysterical. What's Nicole saying? Oh, Dan, no, there's another one, Luke. There's another one. Oh, Lords of Property. Sorry, Mark. Lords of Property. Yes, you're right. That is, guys, go on to that. It's hysterical. This is an Instagram site that has just gone viral, and the guy just takes the absolute piss out of real estate agents.
Yeah. So that's a show.
Can I just add one more? I just want to add one more. Agents marketing. So
agents that talk too much.
Huh?
Agents that talk too much.
He's so rude today. Honestly, he saves it.
No, I'm just saying that's an annoying. That's an annoying thing.
Every other minute except for Fridays between 7:45 and 8:05, and then
it's an annoying thing that real estate agents do. They talk too much.
Okay, on that note, I'm going to go. My light's gone out anyway. It's definitely time. It's definitely time to go. That is a wonderful topic. I think we need to do it to be continued on it.
It could be a monthly segment.
Yeah, I like it. All right,
guys.
All
right, bye everybody.
That's a wrap.
Hang on, just before we go, Luke says, "Listen over talk, agents." Yeah, he's right. Okay, that's a show. Bye.
See you. Put your socks back on.